Berglund could not go anywhere. Lindros just wrapped him up and kept him out of the play as Berglund was trying to get to Bill Ranford. He won't win every faceoff. Team Canada now makes a change, takes Lindros away from the circle, and they put the more experienced Hawerchuk in against the same Swedish player.
And he wins the draw. Stevens flipped ahead to the line, kept in by Lindstrom. Now here's the pass and a great save by Ranford, and that blast from Berglund sliding across the net to get there in time. Corkle is set away on the right side by Hawerchuk. Lindros in front directs it off target. Oh, and he hit the net hard. Lindros hit that net hard. It came off its moorings, and he is still down. A little slow getting to his feet. This is the Labatt Canada Cup at CTV. Lindros at the bench took quite a shot into that net, knocked it off his moorings, but he looks all right.
He drove to the net. Bergquist was all over him. A nice defensive play. Net knocked off. Face-off Swedish. So there's the goaltender again towards the center ice instead of the face-off dot.
Quick shot by Smith is wide. Desjardins, that's going to go from the other side. Redirected by Corson, and it's just missed. Now Graham battling along the near boards for Team Canada. Smith fencing with number 23, Edstrom, in behind the play. Now Smith has the puck on the left side. Relayed ahead inside the line. We now have 10 minutes to play in the final period. And a stoppage in play inside the Team Sweden zone.
Edstrom and Sutter were having words. Now Edstrom is getting involved, just about everybody. Steve Smith. Edstrom is a feisty player. I watched him bump a little bit during that first period. He's an individual who wasn't scheduled to make this team, but did so through some hard work. He's got some feistiness to him.
Well, what do you do on a night off after a first round of the Open? The British Open champion Ian Baker Finch celebrating his -4 round today, watching a pretty good hockey game.
He was at the Blue Jay game last night, so he's having quite a week here in Toronto with all kinds of things happening.
A lot of those golfers are great sports fans, and they'll go back to work tomorrow, and CTV will have the second round for you at 4 Eastern time from the challenging Glen Abbey course. But the challenge is met today by Craig Stedler, Ian Baker Finch, and so many others. They blasted par. Into the final 10 minutes we go of the Canada-Sweden Labatt Canada Cup game from Maple Leaf Gardens on CTV. Rolling in the Swedish corner. Canada ahead by 4. Little flurry in pursuit back there against Peter Anderson. Keeps the puck in play. Cleared by Rundqvist. Now brought to center ice for Sweden. Left wing pass to Mats Sundin. He's checked by Al McInnes. Samuelsson lobs it to the Team Canada corner. McInnes reacts quickly to the line. Kept in by Sweden. Fleury chops it behind him. Robitaille chasing against Rundqvist inside the blue line. Mats Naslund circling. Now penetrates the Canadian blue. Here's a shot point-blank range from Mats Sundin, and Ranford came out to meet him. The 29th shot he has turned away tonight to preserve the shutout. And here comes Messier with Robitaille and McInnes. Larmer will try to keep it in play at the blue line. He does. But Team Canada changes in behind at the bench. Gretzky steals it. Here's Gretzky in front, and nobody is there. Steen intercepts and brings it back for Sweden. He gets turned away, and Larmer leads it to Gretzky. Gretzky going in one-on-one. Circles the net. Still controls the puck and brings it all the way back up to center ice. Now he comes forward again with Corkle and Shanahan. Shanahan shot. Söderström handles that. Centered in front. Sweden intercepts. Gretzky is there again. Takes a check. Baker Finch and so many others. They blasted par. Into the final. final 10 minutes we go of the Canada-Sweden Labatt Canada Cup game from Maple Leaf Gardens on CTV. Rolling in the Swedish corner. Canada ahead by 4. Little flurry in pursuit back there against Peter Anderson. Keeps the puck in play. Cleared by Rundqvist. Now brought to center ice for Sweden. Left wing pass to Mats Sundin. He's checked by Al MacInnis. Samuelsson lobs it to the Team Canada corner. MacInnis reacts quickly to the line, kept in by Sweden. Fleury chops it behind him. Robitaille chasing against Rundqvist inside the blue line. Mats Naslund circling. Now penetrates the Canadian blue. Here's a shot point-blank range from Mats Sundin, and Ranford came out to meet him. The 29th shot he has turned away tonight to preserve the shutout. And here comes Messier with Robitaille and MacInnis. Larmer will try to keep it in play at the blue line. He does. But Team Canada changes in behind at the bench. Gretzky steals it. Here's Gretzky in front, and nobody is there. Steen intercepts and brings it back for Sweden. He gets turned away, and Larmer leads it to Gretzky. Gretzky going in one-on-one. Circles the net. Still controls the puck and brings it all the way back up to center ice. Now he comes forward again with Korkdal and Shanahan. Shanahan shot. Söderström handles that. Centered in front. Sweden intercepts. Gretzky is there again. Takes a check. Knocked off balance by Salming, but keeps on going. What a show by Gretzky here. He's controlled the play for almost a minute.
Tell you what, the people were standing. They were standing and watching, and now they're cheering Gretzky with a magical shift.
Intercepted by Sweden. Sandstrom bumped by Howard Chuck. Sweden carries on, and Ranford couldn't find it for a moment, but makes his 30th stop. 7:39 to go. Big Lindros, the 18-year-old, gets turned back. Korkdal trying to muscle Johansson on the far boards. Shot in, delayed offside. Ranford will save it for Lindros. Lindros circles Berglund, goes in on net, passes in front, and Howard Chuck almost made it 5-0. They bang away in front. Still loose to his own. Smith shooting off the goalpost. Unbelievable action by Team Canada here in the Labatt Canada Cup. The Swedes finally clear.
I tell you, Samuelsson is hurting. Lindros just pacing.
There is Smith, and he's just got it redirected by Söderström.
Don, Samuelsson is a right defenseman. Lindros went right through him to set up a play, and then Samuelsson, as you can see there, was hit by Lindros.
This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Of dominance. He will go right through the defenseman right here. Samuelsson moves up, boom, right on by him. This sets up a scoring chance for Team Canada that doesn't quite finish. And then Lindros will absolutely nail right here, get position, and then drive Samuelsson into the boards. And somehow, somewhere, Cam Neely has a smile on his face, because this guy who you're looking at, Samuelsson, the competitor that he is, drove Cam Neely nuts all through the playoffs. Yeah, boy, what a crunching check by a big Eric Lindros.
Sutter on the draw, gets turned around. Tocchet will try to carry on behind and center it. He cannot. Now here's Sutter again digging, but it's acquired by Peter Anderson. And Sweden comes in 3-on-3 now. Canada's defenders backing up smartly to cover at the blue line. 6 minutes and 25 seconds remaining with a 4-0 Canadian lead over Sweden. A tumble by Sutter over Anderson at center ice. Shells Samuelsson as it goes off the stick of Eriksson in there. Corson gave it away for a moment, recovered quickly, and back come the white-shirted Canadians with Graham to Corson offside at Sweden's blue line.
Brent Sutter just stepping in ahead of the play. Lukazi offside. The Swedish club had a tremendous second period, about a 25-minute stretch. They were great. Team Canada has gotten back to that swarming checking, neutral zone along the boards everywhere, and because of that, they haven't given up nearly as many quality scoring chances against.
A roar went up a few minutes ago when they announced on the scoreboard that the Toronto Blue Jays had trounced Cleveland 13-1, but a bigger roar went up when it said that Detroit was trailing Oakland 4-1. They're mighty happy with what's happening here also. 4-0 for Team Canada. Bounced into the Swedish corner. 5 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. And Börje Salmi gets it across. Sundin carries down the left side. It rolls to Stevens. Makes a pass that's intercepted by Rundqvist. Rundqvist was tied up from behind by Robitaille. Couldn't get a good shot away. Murphy goes down on top of a Swedish player in a pile, and play is stopped.
Theo Fleury back checking. The thing about it, I tried to mention it earlier, is that he gets good body position. He was back checking on what we call the weak side. The weak side where the puck is the area where the puck is not. And the Swedish team is a good passing team, Don, and when you back check, you try to get the people in your lane. And Fleury did that by grabbing a hold of Rundqvist, so he takes them out of the play. Sundin was looking for somewhere to pass it. Nobody was open.
Rundqvist, as you pointed out, very tough on the faceoffs. Digs it back to Lidstrom. Sweden pressing to get on the board here with time running out. Just barely 5 minutes to play in the third period, but Team Canada has just cleared the zone. Rundqvist chasing it. Shanahan watching him, and he passes it off to Salmi. Börje Salmi now. Still going strong at age 40. At the blue line, brings it to the corner. Young Sundin gets to the backhand shot, and Ranford turns that away on the short side in smart fashion. 32 stops by Ranford now. They whistle that one down, and some fencing with Sundin and Smith, and they're going to go at each other at the can. The linesman separates them. Remember, fighting means ejection under the international rules.
Yeah, things calm down rather quickly. Sundin filing a grievance towards the referee. And some penalties will be handed out. Both Steve Smith and Sundin go to the penalty box.
Both could probably use the rest. It's been furious action here in the Labatt Canada Cup Sweden-Canada game. Sundin reluctantly going into the penalty box.
Steve Smith may get something a little extra here. Maybe a misconduct as they are trying to get both of them now. Both will get something a little extra done, as they had extra words near the penalty box, and I believe both players.
Yeah, they're gone for the night.
Yes. Not a bad trade-off for Team Canada with them having a 4-0 lead. Sweden needs to score and score quickly, and Sundin is one of their best scorers. So he's been ejected, and that has to favor Team Canada, taking nothing away, of course, the fine defensive play of Steve Smith.
Now to serve the Miners, Bergqvist and Fleury will sit in the box.
Sundin wasn't real happy.
No.
Shades of Chris Nyland. Shades of... Watch that Zamboni back there. Old Samuelson tried that last year and got fined for it.
That's got to be frustrating for Sweden. They put on a great surge down 3-0, but could not score on Ranford. And now they are in a hopeless situation, down by 4 with 4:28 to play. Team Canada leads it 4-0. Face-off will come to the left to Bill Ranford. Wayne Gretzky made Canada leaders early with 3 beautifully set up goals, and Ranford made sure they stayed in front.
Don, in talking to some of the Swedish players, they talked about face-offs, and they say that the Swedes don't pay as much attention to face-offs as do North American teams. And in that regard, I think the Canadian club has controlled most of the important face-offs in this game. An example of it's right here. We have Sandstrom taking the draw. And now they're thinking, well, he's taking the draw against Gretzky. Dahlin, the winger, left-handed shot too, has played a lot of center ice in his career. And it's interesting that Sandstrom takes the draw.
He digs it back to Johansson on the left point. He was bothered, couldn't get a good pass away. McInnes to Larmer. Give it in front to Sandstrom, going in alone, and Ranford turns him away. Coffey came in late to help out in a big way. And it's still 4-0 with 4 minutes left. Dahlin turned around by Larmer. McInnes takes over. He's to the hand off Coffey. Coffey and Gretzky stop short of a collision. Gretzky heading for the Team Canada bench. Oya Salmi, for a 40-year-old, had a lot of ice time tonight. Sweden buzzing around. Ranford can't find it. Finally cleared off the boards and out of the zone. Soviets won their first game today, and the United States won their second. Looks like Canada and the U.S. will lead the Labatt Canada Cup after 3 games.
Canada has not trailed in the tournament. This is their 3rd game. They have yet to trail in a game.
Canada will have 5 points, the U.S. 4. They try to set Lindros up, and it goes way up. In among the spectators with 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. There are not many teenagers who can come on at this level and make the kind of impact in just a handful of games Eric Lindros has.
How about the Prime Minister comments? I mean, here's a kid that's 18 years of age. I saw a clip of the Prime Minister suggesting that maybe you ought to look at the Quebec situation. There's a lot of money there available for his services. And the youngster said, hey, listen, the Prime Minister ought to take care of the recession.
In other words, mind your own business.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't want to be audited.
He's quite a youngster. Here he is now losing it at the blue line. Sweden getting a chance. Shot wide by Gothenloff to the far corner. Kortgold goes to the bench along with Stevens. Long lead pass to Yarbenloff at center ice. Howardchuk. Canada check at center ice.
See the better checking by the Canadians in the neutral zone? That was not there in the second period.
That was Edstrom getting taken down in front, just cleared in time. A little over 2 minutes to go. Forsland now. He shoots. He scores. Finally, they beat Ranford. He loses his shutout with 2:01 to go.
And Ranford with a little show of disgust. 2 minutes, 1 second away from the shutout. Forsland's a left-handed shot. He was able to skate across the top of the circle with the puck. Therefore, he's on his shooting side, his forehand side. Watch him move right across and just snap it. Screen set up as Desjardins tried to block the puck, but couldn't. And right now we have a nice round of applause from the fans here in Toronto saluting Joe Ranford for his fine performance in this game. Good shot by Forsland through the screen.
The 35th Swedish shot finally beat him. 4-1 Canada, 2 minutes to go. Johansson beating Corson to it and shooting it down the ice. This will be an icing call against Sweden with 1:46 to go. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV. As Tommy Soderstrom huddling in his net. A minute 46 remaining, and his Team Sweden trails Team Canada 4-1. Sutter on the draw for Canada wins it. Takes it back from McInnes right point. His shot deflected by Soderstrom off the backboard. In front, Corson shot wide. Graham with it. Corson in behind the net. Left for Sandstrom. He rolls it inside the Team Canada zone. A minute 25 to go. There's something both teams will take from this game by way of satisfaction. The way Team Canada scored, especially shorthanded early, the way Ranford held Sweden at bay, and for the Swedish team, the way they did not lose heart and came back. Sutter now gets turned around, and Mats Naslund has it. A minute to play in the hockey game. Sandstrom shot blocked to the blue line. Sweden changing on the fly.
Scott Stevens, and I think I must be Thomas Sandstrom in there. It has to be. Yes, it is. They were at each other earlier in the game. Stevens knows he can't fight, so he tried to throw a couple of punches with his gloves on, even though he's lost his right one here. Scotty Stevens obviously picking the proper time to try and get at Thomas Sandstrom if he's going to, and that's with 45 seconds remaining and a 4-1 lead.
He'll retire early.
Scott Stevens has been through a lot the last couple of days. St. Louis gambled, St. Louis lost, and St. Louis is paying. And Scott Stevens is going to have to move.
Well, he's the one who's paying the price personally. So a little frustration showing there. And Sandstrom isn't exactly a happy camper either. Well, Bill Ranford has stolen the show tonight, and he got a lot of help from Wayne Gretzky as the dominant players of Team Canada, and this is the third game for them in the Labatt Canada Cup. Gretzky's playmaking and Ranford's goaltending. Eric Lindros has drawn attention to the fact that the teenager is more than ready for the professional game.
Another thing to mention, too, is the play, once again, of the Canadian special teams. The game against the Americans, the game here, their special teams, in particular, the penalty killing, has been on top.
So Stevens and Sandstrom get an early shower with 45 seconds to go.
Ulf Samuelsson, I think, is sitting down at the end of the Swedish bench, and I don't know if he's seen too much ice since he was hit by Lindros. It would appear to be either a shoulder problem or bumped his head as he was pasted into the glass. He did, it appear, right after have an ice pack towards his right shoulder. He's a competitor, a very strong player, physically the strongest player on that team, but Eric Lindros, with his size, caught him pretty good.
Borje Salming, perhaps in a farewell appearance in Maple Leaf Gardens, brings it forward for Team Sweden with 30 seconds remaining in the hockey game. Calle Johansson as Ranford comes out of the net. Can't pick it up in behind. One more attack for Canada, spearheaded by Messier with Gretzky. Desjardins trailing. Here's Messier circling, trying to find Gretzky and Gretzky at the blue line, brought it out a little too far. Let's whistle down there with 11 seconds to go.
No, he's creative as the game moves along, and Patty Dupuzzo, the linesman, laughing. Gretzky tried to fake as though he was taking the puck outside the zone and try and pop it back in, just offside. Now Mike Keenan has the task of getting his team prepared for the Czechoslovakian game. A lot of young stars on that team, but not renowned talents. And I think he'll have his work ahead to get that team ready for it.
And that's the next stop on our Canada Cup tour, Saturday night at the Montreal Forum. Canada winning tonight 4-1 over Sweden. Czechoslovakia beaten tonight by the United States. A must-win situation for the Czechs, and Canada, with this win, glides to the top of the Canada Cup standings.
This gives them 5 points, and no team that's ever made 5 points in the prelim round of the Canada Cup has missed the playoffs. So things looking pretty good for this club. It was a sure bet, but at least they're getting there.
This team surely will not be the first to do that.